funerals begin for Iran president, other officials. Next breaking news: how the Iranian president's death shakes up succession plans. Next breaking news: Trump trial live updates as defense witness Robert Costello returns to the stand. Next breaking news: Trump's social media account shares video mentioning unified Reich. Next breaking news: Trump media, valued at $7 billion, booked less than $1 million in first quarter sales. Next breaking news: semis spilled load causes significant delays on I-494 in Southeast Metro Mendota Heights, Minnesota. A stretch of highway in the Southeast Metro will be closed nearly all morning Tuesday while crews work to clear debris spilled by a semi-truck. Next breaking news: Stormy Tuesday could bring severe weather to parts of Minnesota. Minneapolis. Tuesday is a next weather alert day in Minnesota, with more storms coming and severe weather likely in parts of the state. Next breaking news: Pittsburgh is the 36th best place to live in the U.S., according to new U.S. News and World Report. Pittsburgh. Since Pittsburgh was declared the nation's most livable city by Rand McNally in 1985, we've kind of paid close attention to these kinds of rankings. Next breaking news: Pope Francis. Climate change at this moment is a road to death. Pope Francis says the climate crisis has gotten to the point of no return as the planet continues to see the effects of global warming, and world leaders have an even greater responsibility to take action. Next breaking news: CBS News surprises Pope Francis with gift inspired by detail. In his book, millions of people travel across the globe each year to meet Pope Francis, many coming prepared with customary gifts for the head of the Catholic Church. CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Norah O'Donnell included. Next breaking news: stress can be the triggering factor for skin problems. Dermatologists share their advice. There are many ways mental health can impact our physical health, but did you know stress can even affect how our skin looks and feels? It's true, dermatologists say. Next breaking news: police move in on pro-Palestinian encampment at University of Michigan Diag. Police moved in on the pro-Palestinian encampment at the University of Michigan Tuesday morning. Next breaking news: severe turbulence on Singapore Airlines Flight 321 from London leaves one dead, others injured. Airline says. Singapore Airlines said Tuesday that one person died and others were injured when a flight from London to Singapore hit severe turbulence. Flight SQ321 from London's Heathrow Airport was diverted to Bangkok and touched down just before 4 p.m. local time Tuesday at Suvarnabhumi Airport, the airline said in a statement posted to its Facebook page. Next breaking news: generative AI poses threat to election security. Federal intelligence agencies warn generative artificial intelligence could threaten election security this November, intelligence agencies warned in a new federal bulletin. Next breaking news: Scarlett Johansson shocked, angered by ChatGPT voice that sounded eerily similar to hers. Actress Scarlett Johansson said she was shocked and angered Monday after ChatGPT rolled out its voiced artificial intelligence assistant that she claims sounds eerily similar to her voice. Next breaking news: OpenAI disables ChatGPT voice that sounds like Scarlett Johansson. ChatGPT maker OpenAI said it is suspending use of one of its popular AI voices after users noted how similar it sounds to actor Scarlett Johansson's voice. Next breaking news: Biden courts battleground state black voters with two big speeches. Atlanta and Detroit. President Biden began his address at the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People's Fight for Freedom Fund dinner in Detroit Sunday by declaring himself a lifetime member of the NAACP. Next breaking news: archaeologists search English crash site of World War II bomber for remains of lost American pilot. In recent months, the U.S. Department of Defense has accounted for dozens of missing airmen killed in combat, and for each of them, there's a harrowing story of their final moments. One service member from Michigan died on a World War II bombing mission in Southeast Asia when his plane was hit by anti-aircraft fire, causing its wing to catch fire. A 21-year-old from Pittsburgh was killed when his plane crashed during another bombing mission during that war against oil fields in Romania. A pilot from Florida disappeared during a solo spy mission during the Vietnam War. Next breaking news: FDIC head stepping down after report on agency's workplace culture. White House says. The White House said Monday that the chairman of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation will step down, a departure that follows the release of a damning report about the agency's toxic workplace culture. Next breaking news: best cities to live in the U.S., according U.S. News and World Report. Why was Naples, Florida, just ranked the best place to live in the U.S.? It has much to do with the beachfront city's job prospects and overall quality of life for residents, according to U.S. News and World Report. Next breaking news: Asia just had a deadly heat wave, and scientists say it could happen again. Here's what's making it much more likely. Hundreds of people died across Asia in recent weeks as the region sweltered under blistering temperatures. And a new study determined a leading factor in how it all happened. Next breaking news: family of black teen executed in Pennsylvania files lawsuit nearly 100 years after his death. The family of a teen who was executed by the state of Pennsylvania after being convicted of murder in 1931 have filed a lawsuit seeking damages nearly 100 years after his death. Next breaking news: South Korea bans viral North Korea propaganda video praising Kim Jong-un. Seoul, South Korea. South Korea's media regulator said on Monday it was banning access to a North Korean propaganda music video that it said idolized and glorified leader Kim Jong-un as a friendly father and great leader. Next breaking news: Australia and New Zealand sending planes to evacuate nationals from New Caledonia's unrest. Sydney, the Australian and New Zealand governments announced Tuesday they were sending planes to evacuate their nationals from violence-racked New Caledonia. Next breaking news: Iran begins funerals for President Raisi and others killed in helicopter crash. Iran began funeral events Tuesday for President Ibrahim Raisi, as the country grapples with the fallout from his sudden death at a time of heightened regional tensions and domestic uncertainty. Next breaking news: Nestle to launch frozen pizzas, other foods targeting users of weight loss drugs. Nestle is launching a new frozen food brand, Vital Pursuit, aimed at the growing market of consumers who are using GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. Next breaking news: death toll grows to 8 in severe Houston area storms. An eighth person has died in the Houston area following severe weather that lashed the city and surrounding Harris County with 100 mph winds, officials said Monday, and more than 192,000 customers remained without power. Next breaking news: Trump allies meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu and other Israeli officials. Former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien said Monday that he and 2 other Trump administration foreign policy officials have met with top Israeli government officials, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his rival, Benny Gantz, during a 3-day visit to Israel. Next breaking news: Trump's defense team rests in hush money case. Live updates: former President Trump's hush money trial resumed Tuesday morning, and the defense rested its case-in-chief within an hour. Next breaking news: Trump trial devolves into chaos as judge admonishes defense witness. New York, former President Trump's hush money trial devolved into chaos as it barreled toward a close on Monday, with the judge clearing his courtroom after admonishing a witness for improper decorum. Next breaking news: Trump campaign says it will sue filmmakers behind The Apprentice movie for including blatantly false assertions. Former President Trump's re-election campaign plans to sue the filmmakers behind the new biopic film, The Apprentice, which follows the former president's early years in the real estate business, for including what it calls blatantly false assertions. Next breaking news: Trump pitch to oil companies turns off 2/3 of likely voters. Poll finds broad majorities of voters aren't happy with Trump's apparent offer of a quid pro quo to oil companies, a poll from an advocacy group has found. Next breaking news: FDIC chair says he'll resign once successor is confirmed. Federal Deposit Insurance Corp chair Martin Gruenberg announced Monday he will resign once a successor is confirmed by the Senate after several reports documented a culture of sexual harassment, misconduct and retaliation at the agency under his leadership. Next breaking news: White House lauds PACT Act as it hits 1 million toxin claims granted to vets. The White House on Tuesday announced that more than 1 million claims have been granted through the PACT Act, a landmark law passed in 2022 that gave veterans expanded access to apply for compensation and relief related to toxic exposures during service. Next breaking news: U.S. levels new sanctions over Russian disinformation campaign. The United States has imposed new sanctions against 2 individuals and 2 entities connected to a Russian disinformation campaign that included a bevy of fake news websites, the Treasury Department announced Wednesday. Next breaking news: Matthews, Senate elections could decide the presidency, or vice versa. Republicans have been boasting about former President Donald Trump's lead in several swing state polls. But if swing states are to determine who wins the White House in November, it's important to consider other statewide elections in those states that might influence turnout and voting patterns. 5 of the 7 swing states have a U.S. Senate seat up for election, and in all 5 of them the Democratic Senate nominee is ahead in the average of polls. Next breaking news: inflation concerns weigh heavily on voters, vary by race. Poll inflation is far and away the biggest issue for Americans heading into the 2024 election, but economic outlooks and President Biden's approval rating vary by race and ethnicity, according to a new Harvard Caps Harris poll. Next breaking news: Coinbase adds former Rep. Kendrick Meek as House tees up crypto vote. Former Rep. Kendrick Meek is joining Coinbase Global Advisory Council, the cryptocurrency trading giant first told The Hill. Next breaking news: Uber, Lyft vow to stay in Minnesota after pay compromise passes legislature. Ride-hailing companies Uber and Lyft announced they will continue operating in Minnesota after the state legislature passed a compromise driver compensation bill Sunday, overriding a Minneapolis city measure to which the companies objected. Next breaking news: Senate banking chief calls on Biden to replace FDIC chair after sexual harassment probe. Senate Banking Committee Chair Sherrod Brown called on President Biden on Monday to replace the chair of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation in the wake of reports of a toxic workplace environment at the agency. Next breaking news: U.S. lashes out after Israeli officials targeted with arrest warrants. U.S. officials went on the offensive Monday after the International Criminal Court filed arrest warrants against two top Israeli leaders over the war in Gaza, a move that Congress and the White House slammed for equating Israel's conduct with the Palestinian militant group's October 7 attack. Next breaking news: Biden campaign raises $51 million in April, has $192 million on hand. President Biden's campaign raised $51 million in April and has $192 million on hand as it enters June, the campaign announced Monday. Next breaking news: Georgia State Supreme Court fight puts abortion front and center. Abortion is front and center in a high-stakes Georgia Supreme Court race pitting a Republican-appointed justice against a former Democratic lawmaker seeking to make a political comeback. Next breaking news: Justice Alito infuriates Democrats with upside-down flag, alarming. Appalling. Senate Democrats are waging a public battle with Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito and are questioning his impartiality after it was revealed that an upside-down American flag flew outside his home in the days surrounding January 6, 2021, and President Biden's inauguration. Next breaking news: Who is Robert Costello, the Trump witness accused of staring down judge? All eyes turned to Robert Costello on Monday after he was called to the witness stand in former President Trump's hush money trial and was quickly admonished by the judge for his courtroom behavior. Next breaking news: Senate Republicans see Trump verdict as political wild card. Senate Republicans are nervously anticipating the verdict in former President Trump's Manhattan hush money trial and warn it could have a significant impact on the election. Next breaking news: Russia jails hypersonic missile scientist for 14 years for treason. Russian physicist Anatoly Maslov has been convicted of treason, according to the press service for courts in the city of St. Petersburg. Next breaking news: Greece court dismisses charges against 9 Egyptians over pilot's shipwreck. A Greek court has dismissed charges against 9 Egyptian men accused of causing a shipwreck that killed hundreds of refugees and migrants last year after a prosecutor said Greece had no jurisdiction over the site of the mishap. Next breaking news: Thousands mourn Iran's Raisi in Tabriz procession after helicopter crash. Iranians have gathered in Tabriz, the capital of the East Azerbaijan province, to mourn at a farewell procession for President Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash on Sunday. Next breaking news: Australia's Sam Kerr ruled out of Paris Olympics 2024 with ACL injury. Talismanic Australian striker Sam Kerr has been officially ruled out of the Olympics, almost 5 months after a serious knee injury derailed her season with Chelsea. Next breaking news: Indian government agencies spent millions promoting BJP election slogans. Mumbai, India, in November, as India's election campaign was beginning to take shape, a catchphrase coined by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party started gaining traction. Next breaking news: Israel's war on Gaza live, children among 85 killed in Israeli attacks. The UN's Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, has suspended the distribution of food in Rafah, citing Israeli attacks on the city and a lack of supplies. Next breaking news: Iranian Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian dies in helicopter crash. Aged 60, Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian has died at the age of 60 in a helicopter crash alongside President Ibrahim Raisi. Next breaking news: U.S. blacklists ex-Bangladesh general named in Al Jazeera investigation. The United States has blacklisted Bangladesh's former chief of staff, retired General Aziz Ahmed, because of his involvement in significant corruption. Next breaking news: Trump hush money trial, day 19 takeaways. Michael Cohen admits to stealing. Disbarred lawyer Michael Cohen has completed his testimony before a New York criminal courtroom as the case against his boss, former United States President Donald Trump, approaches its likely end. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for getting latest update of United States, trending news and top stories about